In this video, let's talk about training to failure, avoiding injury, muscle soreness, and deloads. Seeing as these have been hot topics in the comment section of some of my recent videos, where you guys have been getting some great discussions going, and I really wanted to take an opportunity to expand my thoughts on these topics, as well as provide the opportunity for us to continue this discussion, learning and growing together from our shared experiences. Now, first off, in one of the videos, I mentioned that one of the big changes I made this year is that I am now taking every single set to the point of true momentary muscular failure. So John asked for some clarity as to whether I'm still incorporating some warm-up sets or if I just jump right into my working sets as soon as I get into the gym there. And yeah, I don't count warm-up sets as my actual sets. When I say I'm taking like 6 total sets per muscle group per week to the point of true momentary muscular failure, those are my working sets. So with compound movements such as the plate-loaded chest press, especially if I'm beginning my workout with that movement, I'm going to do a few warm-up sets, which may look something like one plate on each side for 3 to 4 repetitions, so absolutely nowhere near failure. Maybe put another plate on there for another 3 repetitions, nowhere near failure. And then maybe put 25s on each side or something, and again, 2 to 3 reps. I just want to grease the groove. I want to get a feel for the movement and get a feel for the load. So I'm going to do the few of those warm-up sets and then bust into the 2, 3, maybe 4 working sets for that particular exercise. So when I say take every set to the point of true momentary muscular failure, it's just my working sets. I'm still incorporating some warm-up sets in there. For isolation exercises like the tricep press down, oftentimes if it's later in the workout, I won't need to do any kind of warm-up set there. Or if I do one, it might just be a couple reps with a little bit of a lighter load to get a feel for the movement there. So yes, I do still incorporate some warm-up sets in there, but I don't count them towards my working sets there. Now taking a look at the research when it comes to training to failure, the latest research does show that if you want to experience the greatest muscle gains, you want to take your sets to the point or very, very close to the point of true momentary muscular failure. But we got to remember it wasn't all that long ago where the research was showing that we're better off leaving some reps in reserve if we want to experience the greatest muscle gains. And it wouldn't surprise me if things flip again and the pendulum swings to that point again. Research is limited. It's just so many different variables to control. A lot of the people aren't even very much like us ourselves as well. So I take all research with a grain of salt. What really matters is our own personal experiences. And you can see examples of people who are leaving reps in reserve for all of their sets, and they're experiencing some great progress. Someone like Darren Boley, who just mentioned that he's experienced some great progress with his pull-ups by not training to failure there. So it's something that fits him best, his lifestyle best. And then you see others like Time Is Up, who mentioned that he's now taking every set to failure. Likely probably because what the research shows, seems like he's on top of the research there. Was it NG something, mentions that like his first set, he might leave a rep in reserve, and then his second 2 sets, he is going to the point of true momentary muscular failure. All of us experiencing great results. We're having fun with our training. And really, that was the great point that Darren brought up there, is that what matters most is that he's having fun with his training. And I couldn't agree more. That is totally what I preach with this. It's really following a plan that suits us best. Our personality, our personal preferences, our lifestyle, and really like we're in this to have fun. We want to experience the joy from the training experience there. Now, the next topic that has been coming up is injury and training to failure, increasing that risk of injury. And yes, there is an increased risk of injury the closer you get to that point of true momentary muscular failure. But a lot of it comes down to a break in form, a break in technique. So Darren mentioned in one of his comments that whenever he trains to failure, he just doesn't have a quit button. So instead of when he trains to failure, he's training to the point of injury. And that's likely because he's breaking form. He's training beyond that point of true momentary muscular failure. So some great examples of me training to failure here. Well, you'll see I get to the point where I think, well, maybe I do have another repetition in me. How do I know? I'm going to try for it. It ends up being a partial rep. When I get to that point where I'm stuck, I'm not going to force that. I'm not going to grind and contort my body in order to get it up there. I'm not going to try to like bounce it out of the bottom for that final rep just to try to fight it and get it up there. I'm still going to train to the point of true momentary muscular failure, but with good form, never increasing that risk of injury by contorting my body, using momentum, bouncing things here and there. I'm going to still finish with good quality form there. Another way I go about it is if I don't think I'm going to be, if I question myself, you know what, maybe I can get another rep here, maybe not, I'm not so sure. When I get that last rep up there, rather than attempt another rep, I'll just do a super slow negative on that last repetition. So I'm still trying to do everything I can to bring it very, very close or to that point of true momentary muscular failure. But there's times where I've tweaked a muscle just lifting the bar off, like just engaging in the movement. Or it might be like just a few reps into the set and I get distracted and I lose kind of that tension in the muscle group there and I end up tweaking a muscle that way. So training to the point of true momentary muscular failure, can it increase the risk of injury? Maybe, but you can, I mean, with all exercises that we're performing, there's always that risk that we may injure ourselves. Now the next topic is recovery when it comes to training to failure there. And for myself personally, well, I think there's just a ton of factors that are involved when it comes to recovering from your workouts. I think the most important factor is sleep. Like, how well are you sleeping? Are you getting an adequate amount of quality sleep each and every night? If you're not, it doesn't matter whether you're leaving reps in reserve or you're training to failure, you're going to have a difficult time recovering if you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep. Quality nutrition, making sure you're getting an adequate amount of each micronutrient, macronutrients, and an adequate amount of fuel to recover from your training is going to be really, really important in that regards as well. But for myself personally, I'm finding I am recovering so much better now that I'm taking 6 sets per muscle group per week to the point of true momentary muscular failure compared to the past where I may have done like 12, 15, 18, maybe even 20 plus sets per muscle group per week where almost all of them were not to the point of true momentary muscular failure. I still was that accumulated fatigue that built up because I was performing so many sets. Now, if you're to do 6 sets just like I am right now per muscle group per week, but you're leaving reps in reserve, say you're leaving 3 reps in reserve, yeah, you're going to recover better compared to 6 sets per muscle group per week to the point of true momentary muscular failure. But if we're taking a look at the effective reps theory that's out there right now, where like the last 5 reps of every set that we're performing, those are the effective reps that are going to be leading to our greatest muscle gains there, and we're both doing 6 sets, that means that I'm getting 30 effective reps per muscle group per week. And if you're leaving 3 reps in reserve for every single set, doing 6 sets per muscle group per week, then you're only getting 12 effective reps. So that's like less than half the amount of effective reps for muscle growth. I mean, if you're cool with experiencing like slower progress, slower gains, I mean, that's freaking awesome. If that suits you best, that's fantastic. But if you want to try to equate the number of effective reps that you're performing per workout and you're leaving 3 reps in reserve for every single set there, you're going to need to do, so basically you're getting 2 effective reps per set. You're going to need to do 15 sets for a muscle group per week in order to equate the same number of effective reps as I would be doing with 6 sets to the point of true momentary muscular failure per week. So again, 6 sets compared to 15 sets, even though those 15 sets are not to the point of true momentary muscular failure, that's still going to build up a lot of fatigue. And for me personally, that was the kind of fatigue that made it very difficult for me to recover from my training sessions there, especially I find my shoulders, like the more sets I do for my shoulders and even my knees, like for the legs there, those were the difficult areas to recover from. So a lot of factors that go into your recovery there. So it's not just training to failure. It's like the total number of sets that you're performing per muscle group per week, whether it's to the point of true momentary muscular failure or you're leaving reps in reserve. All of those can have a factor in addition to your sleep, your nutrition, and many other things, your stress levels and all that there. Also, like the rep ranges that you're performing each exercise in. I know for myself personally, when I'm doing higher rep sets, 12, 15 plus repetitions, for those sets, the higher rep sets oftentimes are tougher for me to recover from. Those are the sets that I experience more muscle soreness. That kind of leads into the next topic there that keeps coming up here is training to failure and muscle soreness. And is there a correlation? Maybe there's a little bit of a correlation there, but I mean, I get sore. Like I could leave reps in reserve for every single set, but if I am changing an exercise in my training plan for this month, I'm going to experience some muscle soreness, even though I'm leaving plenty of reps in reserve there, especially when it comes to like legs. If I'm doing like a split squat this month and next month I switch it up to a Bulgarian split squat, even if I'm leaving reps in reserve, I'm going to experience muscle soreness. If I then do walking lunges the next month instead, I'm going to experience muscle soreness just because of that change, even if I'm leaving reps in reserve. Reverse lunge, any kind of like modification to a movement like that is going to cause me some muscle soreness. Same thing with just changing up like a chest exercise. Subtle little changes to a workout is going to lead to muscle soreness, even if I'm not training to the point of true momentary muscular failure. And I understand, like Darren brought it up, I've seen other guys bring it up in the past, Craig from Grey Wolf Fitness. Their jobs are demanding and they really don't want their legs to be sore. So if you do a workout and you're training to failure and legs are sore for days, it makes it very difficult to do their job and they just don't want to experience that. So again, you're just working with where you're at right now. You know what to do, but again, it's not always just training to failure. It could just be the exercise selection that you have incorporated into your overall training plan there. Now, when it comes to deloads, so Tom brought up, if I'm training to failure with every single set, does that mean how am I planning my deloads? Am I doing like deload days here and there or deload weeks here and there? Basically, I no longer subscribe to the whole deload theory. I think that's kind of been debunked as of late. Again, who knows with the research if things are going to change down the road. But basically a deload would be me going away on vacation like I just did. I didn't work out hardly at all. I think I did one workout in the 16 days that I was gone. So that was a break for my body, but we're not like growing while we're taking time off from the gym there. Yes, it gives us the opportunity to recover, but I would rather not have to take a week off. Like if I'm not on vacation, I want to keep my training going all the time. So I basically structure my training in a way, intelligent programming, where I don't need to do a deload. I can keep myself training and recovering properly. So structuring my programming in a way that allows me to create an adequate amount of muscle damage, but also recover as well. So again, although I'm taking every single set to the point of true momentary muscular failure, I'm only doing 6 sets per muscle group per week, which is allowing me that opportunity to recover fully between training sessions there. So again, recovery is going to be different for each individual and even different muscle groups. So those are things that we have to pay attention to. So it's always not necessarily whether you're training to failure or not. Again, it could be the number of sets that you're performing in a workout. And if you're trying to do more and more and more with every workout, even though you're not training to failure, that in itself is going to lead to a point where you may have to take a break. And rather than get to that point, why not just keep it consistent? Find that volume that's going to work for you, the number of sets that's going to work for you, the number of sets to failure that's going to work for you. And again, in the big picture here, like I said, we don't know. Like we have the experiences. Some people are loving not training to failure. They're finding it suits them best. Some people are training to failure and it suits them best. Right now, I'm training to failure. I'm loving it. But again, I also loved keeping reps in reserve here and there. And again, I'm just going to continue to listen to my body, have an open mind, experiment with different approaches, see what suits me best compared to depending on what my lifestyle is at this time. Again, if I'm not getting an adequate amount of sleep or I'm under a lot more stress, I may have to do fewer sets. And that may be a time where I don't take every single set to the point of true momentary muscular failure. So don't get hung up again on these details, on this minutia here. Listen to your body, have an open mind. But those are my insights into this topic. I hope it did provide more clarity, and really it all freaking works. You just do what is going to suit you best. We really don't have all the answers right now. I don't know if we'll ever have all the answers. The answers are really going to come from within your own personal experimentation, knowing what feels best to you. So just keep rolling with that. Keep sharing the experiences that you're going through so others realize, oh, okay, maybe I'm not feeling so great training to failure. Maybe I do want to leave some sets, do some sets with some reps in reserve there. It's all good. It all works. And really, really enjoy hearing about your experiences and what is working best for you. So keep that up. I appreciate it big time. Really look forward to hearing your thoughts, your insights, and your feedback on today's topic. So again, continue to drop those comments down below. I appreciate it big time. If you enjoyed today's video, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. I'll include it down below in the description as well as the top pinned comment. Have yourself an amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.